Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Kit Kat Ginger. My pronouns are she, her, and I love building in The Sims. Today, we will be building in the world of Granite Falls, which is the one that came with the Outdoor Retreat game pack. I believe the first game pack. And we'll be doing a holiday themed cabin. I've been feeling very in the Christmas spirit, lots of holiday vibes around. So I wanted to build a little wintry holiday cabin. The theme of this is like a blue, like the color scheme is blues and some reds and, browns, but also the it's built in a vacation world, so it's a rental lot, but I really built it with like a real family in mind. I mean, I didn't make a family for this build, but more to be like a real family, and there are two kids' rooms and a parents' room. So you could easily move this to a different lot and, move a family in, play with it. It's pretty functional and cute. Here I am messing with the roof because I couldn't figure it out. If this is your first time here, welcome. But also, if you're not new, but you've been here before, you'll know that it's kind of a theme for me to not be able to figure out roofing right away. It's a bit of a struggle sometimes for me, because I have like an idea in mind, but I can't figure out how to roof it. So that's what happened here. I end up just putting that really long piece on and then adjusting. Honestly, I think this was the best I could hope for. And I redid it a little bit as well. I had like a little bump out on the side, and then I add that, and I just put the roof like straight across the front and the side, and add that pitched roof right there. It took too long, in all honesty. The speed is a little quick. I think it's about the same as the second speed build I posted, the Cat Cafe, but it's a little bit fast just because it was a really long amount of footage. I think I had like 6 hours of footage for this tiny lot. I mean, it's not super small, but it is like it's not huge, so it's kind of embarrassing that it took me this long to figure it out. And so it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. I had to think about it for a second. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a lofted upstairs. So the parents' bedroom is upstairs in the lofted area, like above the living room. And that was the main idea that I had starting this, that I wanted the upstairs to be a loft. And just based on how small it is, it's not a huge amount of space upstairs, so it makes more sense for it just to be 1 bedroom and then a bathroom upstairs for the parents. But I thought for like a cute cabin that it would be really nice to have a lofted second floor. I used a lot of stuff from Seasons as well as the Outdoor Retreat pack on the major build items in here. I think the columns there inside are from Outdoor Retreat, and they match the stairs, which I believe are from Seasons. They match them really well in most of the lighting. Some of the lighting is a bit iffy. It didn't take me a crazy amount of time to figure out the floor plan, but it did take me a while. I just can't figure it out sometimes. I really can't. That front room there is going to be the kitchen. I adjusted a little bit so that there's more roof area on the front and like a slightly bigger front porch. But all in all, it's not massive. It's not a massive house. And I do angle like the downstairs like entryway because I couldn't figure out where to put the door, and I kind of wanted to be able to see it from the front of the lot. So that was the reasoning for that adding an angle to the porch or to the front of the house. The bedrooms are actually pretty small as well, downstairs at least. Upstairs is very open and airy. But the downstairs bedrooms for the kids are a little bit smaller. There's like a Jack and Jill bathroom there in the middle that is, 3x2 tiles, so there are doors that run through the middle. So they're a little bit small. They're kind of weird shapes, but I think it manages to work. Yeah, right now I'm just like still finalizing the floor plan. I do a little adjusting later on downstairs especially, but yeah, I leave that open. I add the wall back in by the stairs to kind of block it off, but for the most part, this is how it goes. I have like an proper entryway where I put some spandrels, and then the kitchen. The layout of the kitchen took me a while. I think I deleted some of that footage just because it took me too long. It took me too long, really. Because I was going to have it be all open or have like that walkway there, but it really didn't make sense where the counters would go. So I readjusted it and closed that entire wall, added a little angled wall piece there on the left, and put an archway in instead. So eventually this will all disappear rather quickly. So I just didn't know what to do with that random little space in the wall. And like, where was I gonna put the fridge? It's too big of a space to really leave open like that. So there we go. I add the angled wall and a little archway, and I think it ends up, the floor plan makes a lot of sense there. So really I was just placing those cabinets to kind of get an idea of where the other walls should go, and like, so I could add my windows. So I add those in. I do a little bit of adjusting later on with the window type. We use a lot of the cats and dogs windows and seasons, because they kind of go well mixed together. Like those little square ones are cats and dogs, and most of the other windows are seasons. But they actually have similar wood swatches for the darker wood, so it ends up working out kind of nicely in my opinion. Just adding some windows there on the sides, and then go upstairs. I add those windows from Snowy Escape just to have like a big picture window upstairs, because the idea with those little bump outs is that they would be where a little, like, those little couches that kind of like are at an angle would go. It doesn't end up working downstairs in the kitchen. There's not enough space, but I do put one upstairs next to the parents' bed, and I think it's pretty cute. And then we have our chimney. So I'm trying to figure out like where the window should go by the chimney. And then eventually I will paint it. But I choose that little door from Nifty Knitting super early on because I like the green swatch. It's kind of out of place in a winter build with the flowers, but we can just pretend that they're fake flowers anyway. I'm assuming they're fake. No one waters them, although no one really waters plants in The Sims unless you're, growing a garden. Downstairs I use that dark wood, and it looks like I'm gonna use the same siding on the whole thing, but I do add a little bit of green paneling on a few of the bump outs, like on the kitchen and the little upstairs piece. And I'm just painting the fireplace walls or the chimney wall. The fireplace isn't there yet. What am I even talking about? I wish I knew. It took me a little bit to figure out how to put the chimney piece in there. I draw like a small half wall so that they just can tuck really easily in there. It's way faster than the other option. So I think it works. I think it looks nice. It looks like it belongs. It took me a little while to figure out the roofing as well. I think I cut out some of that because it, I cut the rest of that out because it took me ages and I don't know why. But also, if you have seasons and you play and it's snowing, you can't see the roof. Why does it matter? So that's why I end up adding like the colorful bump out with the green paneling. You'll see that in a little bit. because it's just very brown, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but it's a lot brown. Add the Seasons fence, which is really nice, and then re-add that foundation back in. And here I use that green siding to sort of break up all the brown. And I think it works with that back door as well, on the upstairs patio. And then I change the foundation. I think I leave it at that brown because it was too much stone as well. I had to adjust that ceiling there. It was like kind of popping out and it looked strange. Here I'm just picking the wood floor for the outside. I go with a base game flooring throughout, and then do some tile in the kitchen and bathrooms. I stick with those green counters. I think that they definitely match the style of the build that I was going for, which was lots of greens and reds, which the main parts of the house end up being. The kids' room and kids' rooms and parents' room and the bathrooms are, a little bit more personalized, at least for the bedrooms. But the main idea for like the general living space was that it was a bunch of green and red and some blues. I do add a few like things for Hanukkah, like a menorah and some cards and some other things, but it reminded me, I was thinking of it a little bit earlier when I was editing the video. I was thinking about how on the OC they celebrated both Christmas and Hanukkah. So maybe that's who lives here. Does anyone remember the OC? If you do, drop a comment below and tell me who your favorite character was. I can't remember their names. So maybe this was a mistake. That's where I tried to add the little window seat there, but there's not enough room in that kitchen because I'm trying to like use it as like another seating area, but it doesn't work. There's not enough space. If it was slightly bigger, it'd be fine, but there's not enough space, and I want at least Sims to be able to walk around there. So we just go with a small table, end up only having 2 chairs, and then leaving that one window open without a curtain so that it's, a bit not as dark and like closed in. It took me a long time to find this next piece that I'm going to add, which is this thing, the little shelf from Cats and Dogs, like corner shelf. I cut some of that out too because it was an absurd amount of time that I spent looking for it. And this is sped up, so it's not as though you're watching me build it in live speed. I had about 6 hours of footage, which I don't know if that's embarrassing or not. Maybe it is. Yeah, it is a little embarrassing. It took me a few days to build this just because I didn't build it all in one go. I had, I think, a couple of days, and I took a break in between because the dog needs walked sometimes. He has to go outside. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out where to put the trash can. I end up putting it in, there's like a little bump out area next to the dining room where it's like tucked in there as though it's like a hall closet. Although the closet doesn't have a door, but I'm sure there's a house like that. And this could be like a house that was once really old and converted to be a little bit more updated. Whatever the vibes are. I really like, you've probably noticed, that Parenthood tile. It's stunning. It's beautiful. I think it has so many good swatches that match like in almost any kitchen. It's a really good kitchen tile, especially with that like baseboard paneling. I couldn't think of what that was called. Especially with that paneling, it looks really nice in kitchens. And I think it would look weird in a bathroom. So it's definitely a kitchen vibe. But I mean, those upper cabinets also were the ones that came with Parenthood. So I'm pretty sure they intended it for it to be part of the kitchen. And then the flooring is from the Country Kitchen Kit. And I believe I stick with it. I put that rug under the dining room table. I don't really have another rug in there. We're pretty close to being done with the kitchen area. I think I add a few other items in as I come across them, but we're pretty close, and then I'll eventually get rid of that pastel pop kit trash can. I liked it because of the cow print, but I really wish there was like a black and white cow print. I think that would have been super cute too, even though that's not pastel, but it definitely would have been cute for like a farmhouse. It took me a long time. Is that like a theme? The new theme of these videos is just me saying this took me a long time. The spacing on that like inset behind the kitchen wall is so strange. Like I wanted to put a fireplace there, but it was too big. I feel like it's still kind of too big. It ends up being 3 tiles eventually, and I put a fireplace there, but right now it's too big, like too big. So I'm just trying to like figure out how to angle it, and if there should be something behind the table, which wall. Yeah, because with the spacing of like the spandrels for the archway, it didn't work to leave the table like that. It just looks really strange, and that's where I move it in, and then I'll add a little doorway, but I add some more spandrels to kind of give it like that cabin feel, and I think it does the trick. I move that little table over to the window, and then here I think that is from Cats and Dogs. Yeah, the fireplace is from Cats and Dogs. And yeah, I'm just playing around a little bit. I try to put like a shelf there. It doesn't work because the shelves are too big or too small. I really just wanted something like a small bookcase tucked in there, but the only one we have is from university, and it's like a locker. So that didn't work. The tile behind the fireplace ends up being from Country Living. I couldn't think of the name of that either. Man, I should just have like a list of what things are in The Sims, because apparently I can't remember what things are called. It took me a little while to figure out the color scheme for the walls that weren't the brick, just because there was a lot of brown. I think I end up choosing the beige with like a trim, so it's like, you know, more basic, but that way I can add more pops of color with like the curtains, and I also cut out some of the curtain searching for curtains, so you don't have to watch me just shuffle through it for, I mean, it'd only be a few extra seconds, but still too long. I add a wreath. I put a little wreath on the front of the fireplace and a mirror, because that one doesn't have a mirror, so I use the Seasons mirror, and then the wreath up there to sort of decorate more for the holidays. And here I am just trying to make sure that it's not like floating away from the mirror, because that sometimes happens. It took me a while to figure out what to do with the fireplace like underneath. I believe I put some of those holiday cards hanging under there, and I think it ends up working pretty well. I had those from the like holiday pack that was free. They're like little pine cones on some greenery, which I think is nice. It's weird because the Seasons, you know, also came with things like that, but Seasons, like, the greenery does not match as well, and it's kind of frustrating. The Seasons greenery is a lot brighter on like the tinsel and wreaths and stuff, and then the holiday, the free holiday pack, it's a lot more dull colored green items. So here I am trying to add in this little succulent thingy to the kitchen, and I didn't. I got rid of it. Just adding some more streamers and like decorations, because yeah, we are decorating for the season out here in this main living space. So there's quite a few things that we will be adding as in terms of decoration. As you can see, the dining room has that hanging pendant light from Cottage Living. It's gonna move out of frame soon, but there's no ceiling there. I am gonna go back in and add the ceiling, but right now there's no ceiling. So it's truly just a floating light. Or I think there's a really long one, so I could potentially use that instead, but it's just floating, which I did not think about when, on this first floor, because when you're building in The Sims, normally the first floor, you can see it because you're on that level. So that was the problem. Also, another chunk of footage was cut out. Me searching for couches and rugs, I believe. I think I go with actually a circular rug, but I don't know. There was just so many red ones, but not the ones that I wanted to like match the theme. I go with like the fluffy circular rug. I think that came with high school years. It's there's a red swatch that looks pretty nice. And then I just pop that TV up there. I lower it a little bit so it's not floating. Although I guess I could have used one of the wall mounted ones. I don't know why I did it. I guess because it would try to attach itself to the wall. I think that's why. I had a big piano because there is space for it, which I think it, fills it up, adds a lot of things in there. I eventually replace one of those armchairs for like a single rocking chair and then like a little poof, because I add like a foosball table on the side and things like that to make it a little more homey. Over here is the little window seat, and I think it works over here too. I added that little platform behind it so that there wasn't just like empty space. And then I also put a little bookshelf back, or the little cluster of books back there eventually. Right now I'm just like, the curtains, they're causing me problems again. I go with the ones that are base game that are like the pulled away ones, these in the red, and I think it looks pretty good. This room is very Christmas, very holiday, full. It looks like Christmas barfed in the living room, which honestly I'm here for. This is kind of like, reminds me of like my grandma's house a little bit growing up. Not as much now. She doesn't really decorate as much anymore, but her tree was just like it still kind of is, like just covered in ornaments. Like it's so many. And she has like all these music boxes because she's was a piano teacher for many years and taught me how to play piano. But just decorations everywhere, tons of holiday Christmas music boxes, tons of music boxes in general, which I think would be a really cute item to add in The Sims. I think it's kind of realistic for people to have music boxes as like family heirlooms especially. But yeah, I chose that rug from the high school pack. It's fluffy and nice. I like that it was round because it was a little hard to fit like a square or rectangular rug in there. If you hear any background noise, that's my dog. He is moving around as he gets ready for sleep time. I had a bunch of presents around the tree, that little snowman on the piano, which I moved to the other side for some Hanukkah cards. But I'm trying again to put some things in front of the fireplace, and it doesn't work. So I nixed that idea. I tried to put the menorah there. It was floating. And so I put it in the dining room for a few minutes, but then I move it eventually to the entryway once we work on that. Here is that wreath is from the holiday pack, as is the garland. The swatches are not the same color of green, so I end up just doing the garland. If I had tulle, I would have like tilted them so that the garland looked like it was like up the stairs. I still try to do that, but I don't have the tulle mod, and because I'm scared of it, so I just like adjust it a little bit. So I put the Hanukkah cards there. The little snowman goes on the other side of the piano. I realized I could have used the blue swatch for him, but I didn't. So he is red as well. I tried to add a few other holiday items on that side, but actually I think that it's pretty good as far as the Christmas and holiday decorations. Like, that room is full on Christmas. I mean, I've seen not worse, but I've seen, stronger attempts, but it's pretty Christmas in here. I had a little basket by the couch. It's the one that came with cottage living. I think it's so cute. Just looks so cozy and comfy, like full of blankets. That's all you need on a cold winter's eve. it's just a bunch of blankets. I add the little like pile of wood. What is that called? The wood that goes in your fireplace. Oh my gosh, kindling. And then I also cut out the bit where I was like searching for those fireplace tools for, it felt like forever. I could not figure out what they were called. It took forever to find them. So I cut that out. Honestly, it's half the time it's like I've never built in The Sims before when I'm recording these. Because it's such a new, area for me. I end up using a green wall swatch because why not? I think it's this dark green. I end up going with that. And I don't think it's too much because it's not like garish. But I think it's a dark one. I don't think I stick with the paneling. Maybe I do. I already looked at this and I knew, but I forgot. Okay, I go with the paneling one, and I think it looks nice too. It's like that slightly lighter green to brighten it up in there too. And here I am just messing with this garland, and like adding it all the way up pretty much. And then it looked really empty, so I was going to add a wreath, but I end up adding, there's like these red bows that came, I think, with the holiday pack. And I just add them as like little accents on the stair railing to just sort of like, I don't know, I feel like it's realistic to have the garland like wrapped around the stair railing and then like have some ribbons. I used to, when I was in college, I helped decorate our music building with like holiday stuff. It was like right before Thanksgiving, so it was like felt like a weird time in the US at least to be decorating. But we would often do that, like adding bows and wrapping that around like the balcony railing, and that was really pretty. So hopefully, hopefully that makes sense to add the garland along the railing and like wrap it around, or pretend that it's wrapped around. I add that little lantern in there by the fireplace, and then a couple of different lights. I add, I thought about adding that side table from the outdoor retreat pack, but I deleted it. Instead, I used that lamp. I think I leave it off to the side. Yeah. So it should be functional for your Sims to walk around. The only part that is not functional will be appearing soon. And that's the foosball table. So I wanted this to be like a family home, and if it was used as like a holiday retreat, like a vacation home, I wanted there to be like games for the family to play. I was gonna use that like Don't Wake the Llama table, but they're all ugly in my opinion. Like the wood ones, they don't match. The little plastic one looks weird, or it looked weird to me. So instead I went with a foosball table, and then also did add a dartboard on the side. That's why I deleted that armchair, which I'll eventually swap out for a rocking chair because it felt like more the vibes. And then I also add that dartboard, which is kind of blocked by the foosball table, I'll admit. But, in real life, you'd probably just move the foosball table, which is pretty easy to do in The Sims if you're playing. I don't think you can go into build mode on vacation, but, when I do twist the foosball table eventually to add in the little seasons decor box. So I think there's space to at least use the foosball table. But if you want to use this for like a family normally, then that would be perfectly fine to be able to move the foosball table. So I end up deleting the shower, or the bathtub shower combo from this downstairs bathroom, and just put in a standing shower because I really wanted to use one of those like bathroom cabinets that stand up like in this room, like this one. And there just wasn't enough space with the toilet and sink there, and I was going to use that sink. I really liked it. It's from Cats and Dogs, as is the mirror above the sink. And I had to use it. So I deleted the tub and just put a little shower in there. And honestly, I mean, it's like a kid and a teen. We don't have any toddlers in this house. So a shower, I think, makes the most sense for a kid and a teenager. And I really went to town on the teenager's room with the high school years pack. But so this bathroom is like more blue themed. It's the only bathroom downstairs, and as you can see, it has like those 2 doors in between. It's like a Jack and Jill situation, but I think it's nice. I, don't envy them sharing a bathroom. It'd probably be weird, or, I mean, when I was in middle school, like a teenager, early teens, like 12, 13, we only had one bathroom for 5 people, and it was a bit of a trick to get everything done. I was waking up at like 5 in the morning to be able to shower because my hair is like naturally curly, so I thought I needed to wash it like every day. Plus I was young. I didn't know what I was doing to my hair. I still don't know. So this room on the side, for probably more for a kid, it has some toys in it eventually. It's very blue. I don't end up using those curtains, but I really liked that bed. It's from the kids stuff pack. That's I think the default swatch, and I saw it and I was like, yes, it looks like it has trees on it. It's perfect. I end up using some blinds there because those curtains are just like too small. And the rod worked, but it was just like not enough. So I used those blinds actually from My First Pet stuff, but in the blue. And I think they look nice in this space. It has a little desk in the corner. They both kind of mirror each other, so there's a desk in the corner of the other room as well, in that little like bump out. And it kind of looks like it's like built into the wall, so I think that is, it makes sense that they would both have the same desk space. I tried to use that little divider, and it's not enough room, so I deleted it. In that corner, I end up putting, I think, what is it? What do I end up putting there? I think I put like a small book, one of the My First Pet stuff bookshelves in it here. That's what ends up in that corner by the bathroom door, weirdly. There's a lot of My First Pet stuff happening here. There's like 2 things, which feels like a lot for a pack that everybody hates. It's not the best stuff pack because you have to have cats and dogs in order to get it, and it seems like they added a bunch of stuff that they should have just had in the original pack. But I thought it was cute because it's like a little bear, so like we're in the woods, it would kind of make sense for it to be a little bear. Here I'm just putting the finishing touches. There's not a lot of space, so there we go. There's where I've put in the rocking chair. I add those little pillows from the Little Campers kit, as well as a couple of other items like the little rocket ship lamp, the little stereo or radio that looks like a cat that's so cute. And then the walls, I end up using just a base game wallpaper, the blue with the grass there on the bottom, which also I think works really well for the space, just because the bed has trees on it, there's a bear in the corner holding your books, and some grass. And here I'm just adding a light. I think I had the same light in the teens room so that it's kind of uniform. It's weird, like it's very unlikely that your house is gonna have like individualized overhead lights for different rooms, except for like the kitchen might have like some inset lights or like some pendant lights, but yeah, or like a chandelier type light in the dining room. But like the living spaces, probably either you don't have an overhead light or it's the same as the other ones. So this room uses a lot of that it's kind of like looks like mystical moon, sun. It uses those items, and then like the other swatches, like purpley things that kind of match, which is why, you know, the kids' room, the bedrooms aren't giving Christmas, but kind of just giving like normal family home, which doesn't really work in this world, but you can install mods so you can live in the vacation worlds, but you know, that's not feasible for everybody. But you can definitely just place this on any 30 by 20 lot that you fancy. I love that dresser that is from the high school pack, college pack, high school years. I think it's so pretty, and I don't think I had used it like at all before. On my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/KitKatGinger, we've been playing the Not So Berry challenge, and I'm on the 6th generation, which is orange. The one before that was purple, and this would have been a great pack to have for purple because there are a lot of purpley items in there. But unfortunately, that pack did not come out until I think right before my orange gen became a teen. I like paused to wait so that we could like go to high school with her. But this would have been perfect for my purple gen. But instead, you know, we got orange on the case. So I've used it here because it's just beautiful. Like the hanging canopy thing with the lights on it, it's so cute. Like you honestly don't need a lot of lights with that. And kind of my thought was that this teen was kind of like, you know, into makeup and like maybe like a moody gal, which is why I go with like the skull clutter, the clutter that has the skull shirt in it. Just like a very like moody teen, you know. She's got lots of feelings. We all do, but sometimes it's hard to express your feelings. And then just add a bunch of clutter on the floor because teens are messy sometimes. I know my older sister was messy. And then that little llama banner is so cute. Add a couple of other items, and then I just paint the walls like one of the purples. Not like super purple, but like the softer dusky purple, and I think it's really pretty. And that is about done with the teens room. I moved those little lights over a little bit, but we're done with that room. Here I make this little hall closet with the trash can. It should be functional. I add some stuff from laundry day. I could have put laundry in here, but I didn't. If you watched my last posted speed build, the pastel pop eco apartment, there was no laundry there either, was there? No, there was no laundry. There was laundry in the cat cafe that no one can actually live in, but unless you just never went back to your lot. But if you watched the cat cafe video, you'll know that I'm not a huge fan of the actual execution of laundry, because I don't want to be doing laundry in The Sims. It's just, I'm playing a game, and if I wanted to do laundry, I would do my own. You know what I mean? So here we're on the entryway. I think I end up changing that rug because I added like a red one because that's the vibes. Out here, it's red and greens. But I really like that like entryway coat rack thing that came with Seasons. It's Seasons. The one that came with Seasons, I think it's really nice. I use that wallpaper in here. I think I stick with that one. I don't think I'd change it again. Little hall table. I add that little wall piece from Seasons that has the red flowers, and I think it's really cute with the color scheme especially. I don't normally use that one. I'll use like one of the ones with pink or blue or something, but yes, there's where I add the menorah and then a little lantern on that other table to sort of just have a little bit more stuff going on in there. And then I added that mirror. It's from Parenthood, I believe. But yeah, I really wanted like a red rug in there. I almost went with that kind of ugly present one. Sorry, Sims team, it's kind of ugly. But I just go with like one of the half circle red rugs. and I think it works. I hang up that bag clutter in the teens room on the door. And then just add some more clutter, a little phone there, add a couple of boxes to the top of that shelf, some shoes on the teens floor. Why not? Teens love shoes, I think. We all need shoes at least. Oh yeah, and in the dining room, I quickly just like threw down that decor chess set from the clutter kit. I threw it over there, and then I don't know if you ever see it again. There's no actual chess set like that you can actually play in here, but you could add one really easily. I probably should have put one on the front porch. It was not at the top of my mind. The main skill items in this build are like the piano, and then my idea sort of ended up being that the parents were like artistic artists. There's an easel upstairs and also some photography equipment. So that was kind of my idea, was that the parents are artists. That could be why they like kind of live out in the woods in the middle of nowhere. But so those are the main skill building items in here, at least. I don't think there's even a computer. There's no computer in here. You could add one though. There's a desk. I had to change the I think I changed the siding trim on the upstairs because it was clipping through the wall, and the roof trim, did I say ceiling trim? Roof trim was clipping through the wall, and it was driving me insane, so I had to fix it and just add like that smaller trim. That is unfortunately a curse of the lofted upstairs. Here I'm just adding some more garland in case you wanted more. Adding it up here to this railing in front of the parents' bedroom. I do go with that I think it's Van Gogh that bed that has the sunflowers on it. I always forget about it because the base, the initial swatch is just like red. And I almost went with it, but didn't in the end. Here you can kind of get a good view of the just floating hanging lights, which is not the greatest. I do end up fixing that window, I believe. And then the upstairs, I end up doing the beige on like the outside the parents' room. And for like the main wall in the parents' room, I use the beige as well. Over there, I will actually place a floor so that there's a ceiling between that gap. So there's like a space there. I think I put something in there. I can't remember what it is, but it's covered now. So it doesn't have to hurt us anymore. I used the rug from My First Pet Stuff as well, that green one. It's a nice green rug. It's from My First Pet stuff though. Oh, so many things from My First Pet Stuff. What was I thinking? If you don't have that pack because you protest and refuse to buy it, I support you. All of those things can be found in other packs. I only ended up getting it because I had a shell challenge out sometime last year, I think, or earlier this year, where someone had used it, and I was only going to buy it if someone used it, and it was used by one of my my streaming friends, and I had to buy it. I was as shocked as you are that she used it. But yeah, what are your thoughts on My First Pet Stuff? Do you also think it's weird and unnecessary? It just should have been part of Cats and Dogs. And it's the only pack that you have to have cats and dogs or have an expansion pack to get. It's not a good pack. And it's just not. But anyway, I added a little clock down there to sort of add a little bit more visual interest to the downstairs there. Not that it needs it. It's quite a lot. So most of the upstairs is that beige color, and then I do add a like wallpaper wall behind the bed. I think it's just like it might end up being that one from Cottage Living that you see there. Right now I'm just adding some more clutter. It took me a while to figure out like what clutter to add, just because some of it didn't like make sense. You can see that little like cabinet from Laundry Day again. Laundry Day has quite a few items being used. I've got those canvases that I think are like part of a career level up, but I thought they looked really nice. You know, if this family, the parents are artists, I think it makes sense for them to have some of their artwork that either, you know, they're working on or they finished around. Adding that hanging camera equipment from Moschino there. And we're getting pretty close to being done with the pack. The end will be really nice because you'll get to see some snow, you'll get to see the build-in snow, and then the screenshots at the end have some beautiful snow in the background. So I'm really just finishing up the interior. I'll put a few more things on this dresser that's from Seasons. And then do that upstairs bathroom. It just ends up being kind of basic and blue like the downstairs one. But yeah, put a little Christmas tree in the corner because we are just full of trees here. And I put it on a nightstand so that it's a little bit higher as well, and then size it down so it's super little. But I also size down the nightstand because it's kind of big. It's kind of massive. So I size it down and it doesn't float, so it's all good to go. But yeah, the build is functional. I flip around the foosball table downstairs, which is why on the gallery or on the, you know, when we're viewing the outside, you can see there are the lights that have been added. And yeah, we're getting pretty close. So thank you so much for watching. I'm just gonna add, you know, all the tile in the bathrooms and some other little details, add the easel outside. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video and you want to make sure that you have updates, hit that subscribe button, and you can turn on the notification bell. I'm trying to post speed builds every other Sunday around noon Eastern time, so hopefully that works out for me. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment if you have any thoughts to share, if you've watched the OC, if you're surprised that someone, you know, brought up the OC in a Sims speed build. You know, share your thoughts about My First Pet stuff, or really any of the other Sims packs. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Enjoy this little wrap up in the snow, and I'll catch you later.